Hi everyone, a very good afternoon and a very warm welcome to today's session. Sat Sri Akal, Namaskar, Bonjour, Adab. I hope you guys are doing absolutely fine and amazingly well. हमारे geography के chapter air में उसके दूसरे सेशन में आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है where we are going to discuss about the atmospheric conditions in the second part. We have already done the first part. So let me quickly introduce myself. Hi बच्चों, मेरा नाम अंकना है and I am your social expert at Imbibe. And as you can see, I have done my studies in the field of humanities, have been associated with the field of education for more than 9 years now. And I've got the opportunity to mentor more than like a lot of students of CBSE and ICC online and offline both, which has been a wonderful journey. And I specialize given my background both in social sciences as well as English. Now talking about the chapter, we have divided it in three major topics. First is Earth's atmosphere, then the structure of atmosphere, and finally you have atmospheric conditions. So we have already done these two sessions. We are going to begin with atmospheric conditions. Not begin actually, we are in the middle of this. We have already finished some portion of the atmospheric condition. Today's session will talk about Odisha cyclone in 1999, moisture, precipitation and rain. What are these? Another session also will be conducted where we will be discussing the different parts of the atmospheric conditions, the rest of it. Now let's quickly have a recap. In the previous session we basically understood what do you mean by weather and climate. We saw the difference. We understood that weather and climate both are measured by the same elements and parameters like temperature, the atmospheric condition, how it is there. However, the weather changes hour to hour or day to day in short span of time, whereas the climate is taken for a longer span of time for a bigger area. So average sum up of the weather over a long term will give you the climate of that place. Temperature varies with night, from day to night with seasons, because it depends on a lot of other conditions, right? Majorly on insolation. Insolation is the amount of sunlight received. So amount of sunlight received in different places are different, varies through the as per the movement of the earth and the time of the day as well, right? Hi Ritika, good afternoon. Then we read about air pressure. We understood what is air pressure. The force that is, the force that is exerted by the air on the surface is known as air pressure. Hot air is lighter. So wherever hot air is present, pressure will be low because anything which is light will exert less pressure, less force, and cold air is heavier, so it exerts more pressure, so that is high pressure zone. So in simplest words, how can we remember this? If the temperature is high, then the pressure will be low. If the temperature is low, then the pressure will be high. Then we understood that this is what causes the winds as well. So when the low pressure air goes up, air from high pressure rushes to fill in the gap that is created. This low pressure air goes up when it is hot. When it goes up, it cools down because the temperature is cooler in the atmosphere when you go above in the atmosphere at a certain altitude. So it then cools down and descends to the cooler places, and then again from there will rush over here in the low pressure zone where the air is rising up, and this is how the circulation keeps happening and the wind is experienced. Then we also understood that because this whole heating, cooling on the entire earth is happens periodically, is very specific. So based on that, there are three categories of winds. We have permanent winds, seasonal winds and local winds. So we understood each of these definitions as well. Now let's get started with today's session and talk about what was the cyclone, what was the problem that happened in 1999 in Odisha, what do you mean by precipitation, rain, snow, all of this, right? Chalo. Imagine watching a movie with your family when the light suddenly starts flickering, right? The light will start going bhag, bhag. It's just flickering and it's kind of scary, and the power is lost soon after that. You might be confused. You feel your house is violently shaking and your roof starts to rip off from the destructive winds. What is happening? It is the wind. But what kind of wind that is ripping the roof off, breaking the house? It's a cyclone. Cyclone occurs as warm and moist air rises from the ocean, forming a system of clouds and winds that spin and grow. Storms hit India each year, but in the year of October 99, there was a massive cyclone that arrived on the eastern side of India, which had devastated everything, especially the state of Orissa on that side. So what really happened? Let's get started and understand. Hi Ritika, good afternoon bache. Also guys, please make sure students who are watching this session to share the video with your friends so that they can also join, because understanding what is the cyclone, understanding and discussing all of these things are going to be pretty important. Okay, now Orissa. Orissa is guys here. ठीक है, उड़ीसा कहाँ पे है हमारा? उड़ीसा जो है वो इस जगह पे, ठीक है, इस जगह पे, ठीक है, थोड़ा बड़ा मार्क हो गया बट आप समझ सकते हो, प्राइमरीली यहाँ पे. Now this is what this water body is, your Bay of Bengal. Because of the certain winds, the temperature differences, the air pressure differences, this is the zone of Orissa, West Bengal, ठीक है, Bangladesh for that matter, which is very very much prone to something called the cyclones. ठीक है, साइक्लोन्स जो है आप समझ सकते हो कि ऑलमोस्ट हर साल यहाँ पे आती हैं. सो लॉट ऑफ टाइम्स वी हैव even heard about the cyclone hitting Orissa, cyclone hitting West Bengal, cyclone hitting Assam, because this is a place is very much vulnerable and is very much prone to these cyclones, because the way everything happens, यहाँ पे जो changes आते हैं, cyclone उठता ही उठता है, cyclone आकर करता ही करता है. ठीक है. So Orissa, which is very much prone to cyclones from the Bay of Bengal, it experienced another cyclone just like all the time in the year of 1999 as well. 1999 में भी वहाँ पे जो है, करेक्ट रितिका, एब्सोल्युटली राइट. तो 1999 में भी वहां पे हर साल की तरह साइक्लोन आता है, हर बार की तरह साइक्लोन आता है, बट दिस साइक्लोन वाज गोइंग टू चेंज द लाइव्स ऑफ द पीपल बिकॉज इट वाज गोइंग टू बी एक्सट्रीमली डिस्ट्रक्टिव एंड डेवास्टेटिंग. A cyclone on the 17th and 18th October was followed by a super cyclone on the 29th of October. So this regular yearly periodical cyclone occurred, but another great, it was followed up by another bigger cyclone on 29th of October. Damages were due to high wind velocity, which was up to 260 kilometers per hour. Guys, we have seen, we know that speed can cause a lot of impact. ठीक है, if you're driving a car, you can't drive, you're very young to drive a car, but let's say you're riding a cycle. When you're riding a cycle slow, even if you skid, you fall, or you maybe just go and dash into something, you will not hurt yourself as much. But if you're really cycling very very fast, you're going at a high speed, then even when you push the brakes, the cycle skids and you fall, the fall is very hard and you get badly hurt. Or you go and just, you know, probably dash into something, even then the impact on that thing, on your cycle, on your body can be very very harmful. It will be higher than what will happen at a slower speed. Slow speed पे जो होता है उससे कई ज़्यादा speed तेज होने की वजह से होता है, right? Cars के साथ भी you will see when they are at a high speed, the it's a technical term called momentum. You'll read about it in class 9th or I think 11th, I'm not sure about that, but you'll basically learn that when the speed is higher and you hit something, the force that gets applied increases proportionally. ठीक है, speed slow पे अगर वो दो चीज़ें सेम चीज़ें टकराती हैं, will not be so harmful, the impact will not be so intense, but at the same time when the speed increases and then the impact happens, that impact will be way higher, the consequence will be way grave, right? So यहाँ पे 260 किलोमीटर पर आवर की स्पीड से विंड आ रही है. You probably wouldn't even be able to stand in this wind. It will blow you off. It will uproot the trees. It will uproot houses. सब कुछ devastate कर देगा इस स्पीड से. तो जो पहले साइक्लोन आया था वो still okay. The second one that comes is really going to be very destructive, and especially because the wind that is there in the cyclone, the speed of that wind is 260 kilometers per hour, and it had a lot of rain, tidal surge, which means a lot of waves, a lot of tides rising in the Bay of Bengal. The cyclone winds uprooted trees, damaged houses, as I was telling you. तो ऐसी दिखती है साइक्लोन की विंड, राइट? और ये ऐसे गोल 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 साइक्लोन क्यों कहते हैं? बिकॉज द मूवमेंट ऑफ द विंड इज इन अ सर्कुलर मोशन, एंड इफ यू गेट कॉट इन दिस साइक्लोन then it's gone, right? And because it's in circular motion, it gets even more powerful. अगर वो सीधा ऐसे hit करे तो मे बी शायद इतना ज़्यादा दिक्कत ना हो, but because of its circular motion, it becomes even more dangerous. So the winds, they uprooted the tree, they damaged the houses, they just like आप कह सकते हो कि घरों को गिरा दे रहे थे बहुत आराम से, बिकॉज ऑफ द स्पीड, बिकॉज ऑफ द मूवमेंट. दे ऑफ कोर्स डिस्ट्रप्टेड द पावर, द टेलीकॉम सर्विसेज, ऑल द कम्युनिकेशंस, एवरीथिंग. रोड्स वर डैमेज्ड एंड व्हाट नॉट. And there were extreme, they brought all of these clouds. So we saw, right, that cyclone is basically where the moist air rises and forms cloud above the water body. कोई भी पानी वाली जगह पे ऊपर जो है moist air उठता है, लो प्रेशर की वजह से हवा जाती है, तो वो सी के ऊपर है, वाटर के ऊपर है. तो जब वो हवा जा रही है तो वो नेचुरली थोड़ा वाटर वेपर लेके जाएगी, बिकॉज द वाटर वुड ऑल्सो बी इवेपोरेटिंग बिकॉज ऑफ द हीट. सो दैट इज वॉट विल राइज अलॉन्ग विद द एयर. सो क्लाउड्स विल बी फॉर्म्ड ओवर देयर. So when these clouds are formed, they will naturally go and cause rainfall, but because this is a cyclone, the clouds would be very heavy and will cause very heavy rainfall. बहुत extreme amount में बारिश होती है. Tidal waves जो हैं वो 20 किलोमीटर के स्पीड से 20 किलोमीटर तक अंदर आ गए थे. We have seen high tides and low tides. We have read about high tides and low tides, right? The tides are basically caused because this is the earth and this is the moon. Both of them have certain gravitational force, right? Sun or moon दोनों के एक certain gravitational force है. That is what keeps them moving together at the same distance in their own orbits. Now, whenever the moon comes a little closer to the earth, it will attract, because it has a gravitational pull, it will attract the water on the surface. वो पानी को attract करेगा. जब भी वो पास आता है, इसीलिए on the days of new moon, where there is no moon or where there is full moon, these are the days where the moon is closer and its pull is very stronger, the gravitational force is phased more. तो उस दिन पे बहुत ज़्यादा tides high उठती हैं, ठीक है, ज़्यादा तेज़ उठती हैं. Now these tides which were going very high, तो tides क्या होती है बच्चे, अलग अलग limits में होती हैं. कहीं पे थोड़ा सा अंदर जाती हैं, कहीं पे बहुत ज़्यादा अंदर जाती हैं, ऐसे करके they are caused. Now this tide that was happening over here, it had entered 20 kilometer inland, which means if this was the sea level, if this is where it ended, वो उसके 20 किलोमीटर पार तक आ चुकी थी. So obviously there must have been settlements around that area. वहाँ लोग रह रहे होंगे, लोगों के घर होंगे, कई बार होटल्स होते हैं बने हुए, sea facing apartments होती हैं, parks होते हैं. And within 20 kilometers is a huge distance, right? The cyclone began as a depression in the Gulf of Thailand. तो यहाँ जो Gulf था, basically जब आप यहाँ पे देखोगे, one second, इंडिया वाली जगह से दिखाते हैं हम आपको. यहाँ पे, ठीक है, इधर आता है आपका थाईलैंड वगैरह, इधर आ जाएगा. ये गल्फ है, ठीक है. गल्फ क्या होता है? गल्फ इज बेसिकली व्हेन देयर इज लाइक अ डीप कट इनसाइड द लैंड एंड दैट वाटर बॉडी इज देयर. वो गल्फ में जो है डिप्रेशन आया. डिप्रेशन का मतलब क्या हुआ? एक गड्ढा सा फॉर्म हुआ. अ होल, नॉट होल, a kind of a basin was formed, a trough was formed, यानी कि गैप जैसा क्रिएट हो गया, थोड़ा सा ऐसा डिप्रेशन, ऐसे आपका जो है थोड़ा सा सरफेस जो है ऐसा बिलो चला गया था, अंडरनीथ चला गया था. सो यू कैन इमेजिन इट लाइक दिस यू. दिस इज दिस यू दैट इज फॉर्मिंग इज द डिप्रेशन. ऐसा डिप्रेशन गल्फ में क्रिएट होता है, ठीक है, किसके? गल्फ ऑफ थाईलैंड में. It intensified into a super cyclone. So this Gulf, this depression got created. Depression क्यों हुआ? Pressure difference की वजह से. Then eventually वो धीरे धीरे वहाँ पे बहुत intense होता गया, movement बहुत fast होती गई. And finally when it started moving, it hit Orissa, which affected 13 million lives and people, which means 1.3 crore people. 1.3 crore? 1.3 crore people were affected, right? Livestock and crops were severely affected. Naturally, 1.3 crore people, entire Orissa would have been completely over. Agricultural fields, animals, humans, their houses, the trees, the forest, nothing was left, and salination made the land completely infertile. Now, all the water from the sea had come and covered, you know, the land of the Orissa. We know that sea water is very high in salt. It is very saline. Saline means very high in salt content. इतना ज़्यादा नमकीन वो पानी था कि जब वो आके ज़मीन पे पड़ा तो पूरी ज़मीन भी बंजर हो गई, उसकी पूरी फर्टिलिटी डिस्ट्रॉय हो गई. We know that there are mangrove forests in West Bengal, Odisha, all of these places. They vanished between the Paradeep and Konark. कहाँ गया कुछ पता नहीं चला. It was completely over. So let's quickly answer this question. Orissa, which is prone to cyclones from the dash, Which water body experienced a devastating cyclone in this year? Which year are we talking about? Govind Manasvi, absolutely correct answer and perfect timing. Good job. Agastya and Ritika have also taken an attempt. Okay. Sonali, waiting for you to answer. बच्चे Bay of Bengal है उड़ीसा के पास. That would be the water body. Year was 1999. ठीक है? तो Bay of Bengal in 1999 was the year. This is what was extremely devastating. Now, if you really want to understand and are a little confused of how cyclone happens, first of all, depression का मतलब क्या है? If this is a surface and all of a sudden you see that in certain area it has gone down and then it is going regular, this portion, this depth that is created, this is the depression. इसको depression बोलते हैं. ठीक है? First thing, cyclone में क्या होता है? We have understood that whenever there is a high pressure area and then there is a low pressure area, एयर विल ऑलवेज ट्रैवल फ्रॉम हाई प्रेशर टू लो प्रेशर. जहां ज्यादा है वहां से जिसके पास कम है उसके पास जाएगा. सिंपल मैथ कहता है दैट्स हाउ नेचर शुड वर्क. हुएवर हैज लेस should get it from the one who has more. So wherever air is more, pressure is more, they will try and give it to the low pressure zone. Now whenever cyclone is created, what happens if there is a water body? अगर ये एक water body है, यहाँ पे maybe at this one point extreme low pressure will get created. Just at that one point, okay? यहाँ पे. And that is why this depression will happen. क्योंकि low pressure हो रहा है, हवा नीचे जा रही है, एकदम से ऐसे depression create हो जा रहा है, खाली हो जा रही है हवा. Now high pressure will come to fill this up. Interestingly enough, wherever cyclone occurs, in and around it, high pressure zone starts occurring. उसके चारों तरफ जो है high pressure zone occur करने लग जाता है. Now these winds start rotating like this because all of this is high pressure to fill in the center which is low pressure, and that is how the circular movement starts. And ये बहुत तेज होता जाता है because the movement this keeps on intensifying as a low pressure, this creates as a high pressure. वो movement बहुत 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 तेज होता जाता है. In the southern hemisphere this movement is clockwise. In the northern hemisphere, this movement is anti-clockwise, and that is what basically the cyclone does and occurs like. Okay, so that was what happened in Odisha. Now talking about moisture. Moisture क्या है? Moisture is basically the amount of water present in the air. If there was any amount of water present in the air, if I walk, I should feel that moisture. I should feel that water, liquid. But कहाँ है? कहाँ है वो moisture? But a lot of times, have you felt when it's too hot or when it's raining and it's hot, your skin feels very sticky, which means some kind of liquid comes on your skin, on your hands, wherever. है ना, थोड़ा सा one layer of some sticky liquid is there. It did not come from inside. It's not of your body. It is something that the air has given to you. How did the air give it to you? Because air had some amount of water in it. So moisture is basically the amount of water present in the air. हवा में हमेशा थोड़ी सी नमी होती है, पानी present होता है. अब वो पानी liquid state में तो नहीं रह सकता है, वो अपने true state में नहीं रह सकता है. वो पानी कैसे आता है? That water has evaporated from whatever place, from the surface, from a water body, from somewhere it has evaporated, and that is how it is now present along with the air in form of water vapor. ठीक है। तो वो नमी जो है, वो पानी जो है, वो कहीं ना कहीं या तो कभी कहीं ज़मीन से या फिर कहीं पे किसी वाटर बॉडी से, नदी हो गई, ओशन हो गया, सी हो गया, कहीं से वो पानी जो है गर्म होकर के नमी बन के, वाटर वेपर, भाप बन के ऊपर आया होता है। भाप बन गया तो एयर में मिक्स हो जाता है और उसी फॉर्म में, वाटर वेपर के फॉर्म में एयर में जो है अब प्रेजेंट रहता है। ठीक है। सो मॉइस्चर रेफर्स टू द वाटर इन इट्स गैशियस फॉर्म, वाटर विच इज इन इट्स गैस स्टेट, वाटर वेपर बेसिकली, एंड दैट इज प्रेजेंट इन द अर्थ्स एटमोस्फेयर। तो अर्थ के एयर में, एटमोस्फेयर में ये भी प्रेजेंट रहता है। इट इज द रिजल्ट ऑफ वाटर एवेपोरेशन। एवेपोरेशन क्या होता है? वाटर हीटिंग अप. व्हेन वाटर हीट्स अप, इट चेंजेस फ्रॉम लिक्विड टू गैस एंड देन राइजेस अप, राइट? तो ये वाटर एवेपोरेट होता है फ्रॉम वेरियस सोर्सेज लाइक लैंड एंड डिफरेंट बॉडीज ऑफ वाटर, एंड दैट इज हाउ इट इज प्रेजेंट ड्यूरिंग विंटर्स एंड ऑल. यूल फील इट इवन मोर. जब बारिश बहुत हो रही होती है, यू कैन जस्ट सी clouds like this, and when you move you'll feel that you're kind of getting wet even if it's not raining. That's because of the water vapor, the moisture being present in the air. The quantity of moisture in the air is known as humidity. So the term that we give for it, the technical term that we have given for it, उसको humidity कहते हैं. तो कई बार आपने सुना होगा कि भैया बहुत humid हो रहा है ना, बहुत ज़्यादा humidity हो रही है. ह्यूमिडिटी क्या होता है? व्हेन द अमाउंट ऑफ वाटर वेपर इज मोर इन द एयर. सो ड्यूरिंग हॉट सीजन्स व्हाट हैपेंस यू गाइस, जब गर्मी बहुत ज्यादा होती है, नेचुरली फ्रॉम वॉट एवर वाटर इज प्रेजेंट, वेर एवर इट इज प्रेजेंट, इवेपोरेशन विल हैपन. सरफेस पे भी जो थोड़ी सी पानी है, नमी है, वो भी इवेपोरेट करेगी. कोई वाटर बॉडी है वो भी इवेपोरेट करेगा. बारिश वारिश में भी आपको ये देखने को मिलता है. देयर इज अ वेरी हाई क्वांटिटी ऑफ वाटर वेपर प्रेजेंट इन द एयर. So your humidity will be very high. That is why this stickiness that we feel on our skin is very high in summers and monsoons. इसको क्या कहते हैं? Humidity कहते हैं, which is the amount of water vapor present in the air. It varies depending on factors like temperature, location. ठीक है. तो जैसे कि winters में, because it's so cold, air will feel very dry. Your skin will start looking white. It will have cracks. It will feel dry. It will feel like it is stretching because ड्यूरिंग द कोल्ड सीजन वाटर इज नॉट एवेपोरेटिंग एज मच. गर्मी होगी तब तो पानी एवेपोरेट करेगा, ठंडी है तो कैसे एवेपोरेट करेगा? सो व्हाट, द ह्यूमिडिटी इज लो. ठीक है. वेयर एज व्हेन द टेम्परेचर इज हाई, ठीक है, और व्हेन इट इज अ प्लेस where water is present in and around. जैसे when you go to Mumbai, when you go to Kolkata, you will feel very hot, you'll constantly be sweating, you'll constantly be feeling sticky because it is in the coastal, it is on the रिवर बैंक या फिर सी पे है. ठीक है. मतलब इट हैज सम वाटर बॉडी वेरी क्लोज टू इट. सो इट बेसिकली गिव्स अ लॉट ऑफ, ठीक है, अ लॉट ऑफ वाटर वेपर टू द एयर. क्योंकि पानी वही है तो बहुत सारा पानी आ जाता है गर्म होकर के. वेयर एज इफ यू गो ऑन माउंटेन्स, there would be no water nearby. ठीक है. थोड़ा hilly region, not ones with the snow, plus it is cold over there, so there you feel very dry, you wouldn't feel any water, you want to apply more moisturizer, more cream on your skin, so you're adding on that liquid to your body because air is not giving it to you. तो द अमाउंट ऑफ वाटर वेपर, द अमाउंट ऑफ वाटर इन इट्स गैशियस स्टेट, ठीक है, गैस के तौर पे जो हवा में नमी पर बनती है, वो किससे पे डिपेंड करता है? टेम्परेचर पे डिपेंड करता है, लोकेशन पे भी. व्हेन इट इज क्लोजर टू अ वाटर बॉडी, कोई वाटर बॉडी पास में है तो ज्यादा इवेपोरेशन होगा, ज्यादा प्रेजेंट होगा वाटर वेपर. अगर वही पे पहाड़ों में है, दूर दूर तक पानी नहीं है, तो कम होगा. ठीक है. Humid days occur when the air is saturated with water vapor. So basically air also has a certain limit. हवा की भी, सबकी अपनी सीमा होती है, हवा की भी होती है. It can only absorb a certain amount of water vapor and not make us feel that हाँ भैया हम हवा लेके चल रहे हैं. ठीक है. It will not make us feel that yes there is a lot of vapor in the water, in the air. So humid days will happen when certain amount of water vapor should always be present in the air. When it surpasses that, जब वो उसके ऊपर जाता है तो आपको ह्यूमिडिटी बहुत फील होती है, आपको चिपचिपापन, गर्मी, नमी बहुत ज़्यादा फील होती है. ठीक है. मेकिंग इट फील अनकंफर्टेबल एज स्वेट डज नॉट एवेपोरेट इजीली. Now you may feel that अच्छा because of the humidity the sweat is being caused. No, sweating happens. Why? Sweat क्यों करते हैं हम? Why do we sweat? क्यों पसीना आता है? Our body is trying to neutralize our body temperature equivalent to the outside temperature. So when it's very hot outside, the body is trying to maintain your body temperature internally by sweating. तो वैसे क्या होता है, हमारा एवेपोरेशन होता है और हमारी बॉडी बहुत गर्म नहीं होती है, बॉडी का टेम्परेचर मेंटेन रहता है. बट प्रॉब्लम हैपेंस देन व्हेन द वाटर वेपर प्रेजेंट इन द एयर, हवा की नमी पहले से अपने मैक्सिमम लिमिट पे पहुंची हुई है. नाउ इट विल नॉट एब्जॉर्ब द स्वेट लिक्विड ऑफ योर बॉडी, so you will constantly be sweaty and that is where it starts getting very irritating. अगर हवा में पहले से बहुत ज़्यादा नमी है तो आपके पसीने के पानी को भी नहीं सोख पाएगी, क्योंकि उसका वाटर वेपर पहले से भरा हुआ है, वो बहुत ह्यूमिड हो रखा है पहले से उस जगह पे, तो आपका पसीना आपके ऊपर ही रह जाता है, तो आप बहुत ज़्यादा चिड़चिड़ा चिपचिपापन महसूस करते हो. वहीं पे देयर आर ऑल्सो डेज वेयर you're sweating a lot but the sweat gets absorbed and you feel fresh. Why? Because in those times it's maybe less hot and the water vapor in the air is not very high. Humidity is not very high. Humidity बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं बढ़ी हुई है, तो आपका sweat absorb हो जाएगा, you will feel fresh. So that is basically what moisture does to the air and what moisture is. So the question is the quantity of moisture in air, what do we know it as? Humidity, water, clouds, cyclone. ये जो हवा में नमी है, ये जो हवा में moisture है, इसको हम क्या बोलते हैं? ह्यूमिडिटी बोलते हैं, वाटर बोलते हैं, क्लाउड्स बोलते हैं या साइक्लोन बोलते हैं? काफी सिंपल सवाल है ये. वी नो दैट द वाटर फ्रॉम द लैंड, फ्रॉम द इन एंड अराउंड एरिया. यू फीलिंग ह्यूमिडिटी? रितिका, वेयर आर यू? Avantika, thank you so much. I'm really glad that you're liking this session and you're able to understand. Manasvi, Ritika have answered correctly. Good job. Govind has answered in perfect timing also. Correct answer. Sonali ने भी सही जवाब दे दिया है. क्या बात है. Good job you guys. Agastya has also taken an attempt. Avantika, I'm waiting for you to answer. So it will be humidity, है ना? जब आप नमी महसूस करते हो, चिपचिपापन महसूस करते हो, उसको क्या बोलते हैं? Humidity बोलते हैं. That is the amount of moisture, water vapor present in the air. Then comes precipitation. What is precipitation? Precipitation is the process by which the moisture in the atmosphere returns to Earth's surface in the form of water droplets or solid ice crystals. We have seen a lot of things falling from the sky. Ritika, what I meant was, where is your home? Like, I wanted to understand if you're feeling the humidity, which area of India are you in? Like that I asked. I'm sure you're at home. हाँ जी, तो अब क्या है? We are saying that water vapor, when is present in a certain amount in the air, एक certain amount में वो हवा में present है, is causing humidity. But in the same place, at different portions of the year, we do not feel the same thing, right? For example, I'm in Bangalore. 2 months back, I was feeling humid. Now I'm not feeling humid. Now my skin feels dry. I want to apply moisturizer. I want to hydrate my skin because it's not getting hydrated enough by the air. Which means what? The level of water vapor has gone down. इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? वो जो नमी थी हवा में, वो अब कम हो गई है. वो 2 महीने पहले ज़्यादा थी. It was higher 2 months back. That is why I would feel very humid. I would feel very sticky and I wouldn't want to apply any cream. I would want to dry my skin. ठीक है? गाजियाबाद, हाँ, तो because it's hot there, so you're feeling humidity. Okay. So, अब क्या हो गया है? It has changed. तो where did that water vapor go? कहाँ गया वो पानी? Something must have happened to it. So nature has designed it like that, right? Nature has created a cycle for us. The water from the surface will evaporate, be it the land surface or the water surface. It will evaporate and take the form of water vapor, go and join the air. Then from there, it will cool down. It got heated, it rose in the form of the gas. Then it will keep rising and the air will have a lot of water vapor content. Then it will change it into clouds. Okay. Then this will cool down, and when the water vapor cools down, it will change back into liquid or maybe solid if it is cooled down a lot. ज़्यादा ठंडा कर दिया तो solid भी हो जाता है. ठीक है. And then it will fall down back on the surface. It will go back to where it came from. जहाँ से आया वहाँ वापस जाएगा. And this is how the water cycle and the whole cycle of life keeps going. ये पूरे जीवन का चक्र ऐसे ही चलते रहता है. ठीक है. Now the precipitation, the falling of the water can happen in 2 forms. In general that happens. It can come in the liquid form also. It can come in the solid form also. Now when it comes in the solid form, it can come in two formations. Either it can be snow, that is also solid, right? Or it can be hailstorm, hailstones. Hailstones देखा है आपने, पत्थर गिरते हैं, ऐसा लगेगा आइस के टुकड़े गिर रहे हैं आसमान से. It would feel like small ice pieces are falling from the sky. That is also water in solidified form. It has become ice now. So the precipitation is coming back of water, okay, back on the surface in any form, liquid or solid. So don't confuse precipitation necessarily with rain. It's not just rain. It can be snowfall, it can be hailstone fall, or it can be rain. Anyway, when the water is coming back, it is precipitation. कैसे भी घर वापसी जब कर रहा है पानी, अब वो पानी के फॉर्म में ही करे, ठीक है, या वो आइस बन जाए या फिर वो स्नो बन जाए, हम उसको precipitation बोलते हैं. The process of precipitation begins when the water vapor in the air condenses, which means cools down. What has happened? The water on the surface heated. When it heated, it changed into gas, rose up. It kept on rising up, but then we know at a certain area it would be cold, right? As you go up, the temperature drops. फिर वो एकदम ठंडा हो जाता है. तो गैस के बाद कभी ना कभी तो चेंज होगा, तो it will change to liquid. If it cools down a lot, then it will change to solid. बहुत ठंडा हो गया तो solid हो जाता है, snow बन जाता है, या फिर आपका hailstone बन जाता है. So precipitation includes various forms such as rain, snow, sleet, hail. It could be in any form. ठीक है, बारिश हो सकती है, पत्थर बन सकते हैं वो आइस वाले, स्नो बर्फ बन के गिर सकता है. It plays a crucial role in replenishing the water sources on earth. So guys, we know, right, when it's very hot, the water starts evaporating, the level of water on the earth's surface starts dropping. तो ये पानी का वापस भरना बहुत ज़रूरी है, जो कि प्रेसिपिटेशन से होता है. प्रेसिपिटेशन ओनली refills the water, provides the water back to the surface, to the different water bodies. So that is why rain and the precipitation is very important. Okay. Now let's quickly answer the question. The process of precipitation begins when water vapor in the air condenses and forms water droplets. Is this true or is this false? Agastya, Avantika, Ritika, absolutely correct answer. Perfect. ठीक है. What is the meaning of replenish? To refill. फिर से भर जाना. ठीक है रितिका? Replenishing means refilling something. When you fill it back again. When you give it back to something that was taken away from some place, उसको refill करने को replenish कहते हैं. ठीक है? Okay, and then we have Govind who has also answered correctly. Good job. Sonali has also answered perfect timing में एकदम सही जवाब दिया है. Manasvi has taken an attempt. It is true. ठीक है? Now guys, if you're wondering what sleet is, because we keep on saying, right, that it can be rain, it can be hail. Hail is when it looks like ice. Snow is the white one, the softer form of ice. What is sleet? Sleet भी होता है. So sleet is between rain and snow. When snow falls down, snow flakes will be big. It will not just be melty, but sometimes even the snow will make you a little wet. ठीक है, तुरंत में आप जब स्नो में जाओगे और आओगे, you will feel like, hey, is it water or snow? You will be confused. It will be something in between. That is sleet. ठीक है, उसको sleet कहते हैं. So these will be very soft, rain-like only, but some sort of snow falling down. That is sleet. So rain is when the precipitation, when the falling of the water happens in liquid form. It primarily occurs when water vapor in the atmosphere cools down, condenses and forms water droplets. So water vapor will rise, together it will form clouds. Clouds will get heavy, will cool down, and then when the moment it cools down, the gas will change into liquid and those water droplets will be formed and they will fall down. That is rain. Rainwater is a significant source of groundwater and contributes to Earth's water cycle. Water cycle क्या है? As I told you, the cycle of water body and surface of earth से water heating up, changing into water vapor, then going forming clouds, getting cooled down, condensed and changing into water droplets coming back. वाटर साइकिल पूरा उससे ही होता है, ठीक है. ऑल द वाटर बॉडीज, द सर्फेसेस, प्लांट्स, एनिमल्स, दे गेट द वाटर फ्रॉम दैट. तो रेन इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट सोर्स एग्रीकल्चर के लिए, और ऑल्सो इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर द फार्मर्स ऑल्सो. सो रेन वाटर इज अ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट सोर्स फॉर द ग्राउंड वाटर टेबल. When we use water in our houses, where are we getting it from? The motor that runs, वो ग्राउंड में नीचे लगा होता है ना ट्यूबवेल, वहां से पानी खींच के निकालता है. तो वो पानी कहाँ से आ रहा है वहां पे? मे बी इट्स ऑलरेडी देयर, but at one point it will get override. But if the rain keeps on happening, the water table level will remain adequate. That is why during the summers, a lot of places you will hear that they are facing water issues, water problems. Why? Because of the evaporation, that water starts evaporating, going up. So it's important for it to rain and come back and refill it, replenish it. Okay. Now there are three main types of rainfall mechanisms: convectional rain, orographic rainfall and cyclonic rainfall. Each of these occurs with different meteorological conditions. ये सब जो हैं ये अलग अलग कंडीशन में होते हैं. आप आगे चल के इनको और डिटेल में पढ़ोगे, ठीक है. विल टॉक अबाउट इट. एडिक्वेट रेनफॉल क्या होता है? एडिक्वेट रेनफॉल इज, we know that there's a certain amount of rainfall required by all of us, right? We keep on waiting for the rainfall, for the plants, for the ripening of the fruits and the harvest, for farming, all the different reasons, for our survival, for the heat to cool down. So the amount of rainfall which is required, which will help us with all of these things. If the rainfall happens exactly in that amount, or maybe a little bit here and there, a little less, a little more, that is perfect amount of rainfall. So perfect means adequate, exactly what is needed. So adequate amount is when whatever is essential for plants and animals, that requirement is met and it provides enough fresh water to the earth's surface. Low rainfall is when what was required, less than that has happened and it has created a shortage. Scarcity means shortage of water. A lot of times you will hear, right, there was no water, the entire harvest got destroyed because it did not get enough water. People are dying, people are not able to manage because there is not enough water for them to drink, there is not enough water for their household chores. ठीक है, तो सूखा जब पड़ जाता है, उसको ड्रॉट हो जाता है, that's low rainfall because excessive low हो जाता है rainfall, which results in shortage. Sometimes it is excessively high. More than it was required, it keeps on raining. That also destroys everything. It kills the harvest in the fields that the farmers have sowed because it has given more water than what was required. It will fill the streets. It will fill up the rivers than the normal level, and will fill water everywhere, causing floods. बाढ़ ला देता है. तो पानी ना ज़्यादा अच्छा ना कम अच्छा, ठीक है, कोई भी अच्छा, मतलब दोनों ही बुरे हैं. Only when rainfall happens in adequate amount is it perfect. So which of the following is the liquid form of precipitation? Cloud, rain, snow. Which of the following is the liquid form of precipitation? And we have Avantika who has answered absolutely correct. Manasvi and Ritika, good job. अगस्त एंड गोविंद ने भी अटेम्प्ट लिया है, एंड सोनाली आपने नहीं लिया बच्चे. रेन, राइट, व्हेन इट कम्स इन द लिक्विड फॉर्म. मैम, लाइक इन डेजर्ट, लाइक द क्रॉप्स. यस, डेजर्ट में कम होता है तो सूखा पड़ जाता है, ठीक है. तो रेन इन लिक्विड फॉर्म इज rain, precipitation in liquid form is rain. Okay, so what is moisture? Let's quickly summarize what we did today. Moisture is the amount of water vapor present because of evaporation in the air. When it increases the limit, it goes excess. That is what feels like humidity, and it is known as humidity. Okay, humidity measures the moisture in the air. Precipitation is moisture returning to the ground as rain, snow, etc. Rain is liquid form of precipitation, very important for water and life because it gives the fresh water to us. So guys, there's a lot of 70%, more than 70% of the earth's surface is covered with water, but that is salt water, right? उसमें बहुत ज़्यादा खारापन और नमक है, उससे कुछ नहीं होगा. That's something we cannot use, we cannot drink, we cannot give to the plants, we cannot give to the animals, we won't be able to survive. What we need is fresh water, which is present in the rivers, lakes, ponds, and rainwater is the biggest source which keeps on refilling it. ठीक है? Ma'am, I didn't get low rainfall. Can you please repeat it? Of course. So, बच्चे, rainfall happens. Now, let's say we are staying in a place, this place is where I'm staying. Ideally, it should rain maybe 3 months for 2 to 3 hours every day in the normal amount. And the amount of water that rain will bring will help all of us fulfill our needs. Needs of the fresh water for humans to drink, to bathe, do whatever regular uses, to feed the animals, for the plants, for the agricultural production. That is adequate amount of rain. When it rains more than this, it causes floods, that is excess rain. When it rains less than this, then what will happen? I wouldn't get enough water to drink. It will start, water scarcity will happen, animals will die, plants will start drying up, agricultural product will get destroyed because there will be no water or way less water. The land will start cracking up. ये क्या हो रहा है? Low rainfall हो रहा है. It will result in drought. सूखा पड़ने लग जाएगा. ठीक है सोनाली, तो इसको लो रेनफॉल कहते हैं, जब जितनी जरूरत है बारिश की उससे कम होती है बारिश. So with this guys, we have finished the session. Please make sure to register yourself for the next session which will be happening now the next week. It's Wednesday today, right? Yeah. So make sure that you are registered. Okay, you will find it on the Embibe app, and yes, it will be creating dryness on the earth, in lives of people. Everything will start dying. Without water we cannot survive. ठीक है, ऐप या वेबसाइट पे जा करके अपनी क्लास को सेलेक्ट करके बच्चों आपको जो है क्रिएट कर लेना है, रजिस्टर कर लेना है. एंड डू नॉट फॉरगेट टू चेक आउट द Embibe लेंस ऐप. ठीक है, चलो, perfect. So with this we have finished the session. Thank you so much for being here. It was a wonderful session having you all of you guys over here. हम मिलेंगे आप बहुत जल्द. आपको आपके सारे सेशंस यहाँ पे लिस्टेड दिख जाएंगे Embibe के ऐप पे, तो चेकआउट जरूर कर लीजिएगा. Till then, have a great day ahead. Have a great evening. I'll see you soon. A very happy Diwali to all of you in advance. Till the next time I see you, stay tuned and keep imbibing.
Keep imbibing. We believe in you.